Hey everyone, I am so excited. I am touring Jacksonville Classical Academy. Y'all know I love me a classical school. We are going to see what is happening in Jacksonville Classical Academy. I can't wait to show you everything that's happening. Let's go see.
Now the key word here is classical. So there are a lot of different charter schools. There's a lot of different types of education, but classical is the key to this whole school and this whole movement. By classical education, we mean traditional American education. It started with the Greeks and the Romans, and up until the early 1900s, all Americans, especially our founding fathers, were taught this way. So we love it. I'm very passionate about it because it teaches children not what to think, but how to think for themselves. My name is Lindsay Hoyt. I'm the executive director at Jacksonville Classical Academy, and I actually became the executive director because I was the founder and board chair at Cornerstone Classical. So the reason why I started a school was because my children, I have two girls, Virginia and Blakely, and I wanted to start a school for them. So there are not only these two, but another Jacksonville Classical Academy East. So there's 3 classical charter schools right here in Jacksonville, which is wonderful. So we teach all major subject areas, including math, science, history, literature, Latin, music, art, and we want our children to be very well versed and well knowledgeable in all major subjects, but we also want them to be virtuous human beings. So we not only instill the passion for creativity, the passion for knowledge, but we also instill virtues. So the virtues being like perseverance and self-government, etc. So we fold those into our curriculum and we talk about them each and every day. It's really special, especially when you're talking about literature and historical figures. We can talk about the virtues and vices of each of these people. It's a really amazing way to learn. I wish I had been taught this way, but thank goodness hundreds and hundreds of students are getting a tuition-free classical education. Come on, let me show you inside.
Hello. So what are some of the goals that you have for Jacksonville Classical?
Well, we really want to be a school for everyone to be here. So as far as extracurriculars go, we want to be able to offer everything. We're building a great sports program, so we have the curriculum, we have the content, but now we want to be the school where no one wants to leave. We're also building a preschool as well, starting in the fall of 2023. So this is the time, this is the opportunity. It's a really exciting time where we're seeing a ton of growth, we're seeing a ton of traction, and so I can't wait for the future. It's going to be wonderful. And we're teaching kids, like I said, not what to think, but how to think for themselves.
Yes.
So they're going to be able to go out and be the wellspring, essentially, in our city, in our country, in the world. We want them to go out and really be civic-minded people that are going to be excellent voters, that are going to be people who are getting involved in city government, city local. As you know, you got involved, and so we want other involved citizens. And we think that these children that are going to graduate are going to be the leaders for the next generation, and we need them. We need leaders. We need future leaders. So that's what this is the training ground for that.
That's awesome. I love it.
So these watercolors are examples of what the students are going to be reading from K through 5th. So the students will start with 100 Acre Wood in kindergarten and move on through Peter Rabbit in 1st grade, 2nd grade Peter Pan, 3rd grade Jungle Book, 4th grade Anne of Green Gables, one of my personal favorites, and Secret Garden in 5th. What's so amazing is the kids can see what they're going to be learning for the next year, what they're going to be reading. So it's really, really special. And you know, what I love is that we grew, you know, a lot of us growing up, we also read those books. So you can really connect with it as an adult with your child.
Good. Let's go ahead and do if. Ready? If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or be lying
job. I am so inspired by you all. I feel like I can conquer the world now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You guys are amazing.
What can you tell her, yes?
Thank you, guys.
So we had a beautiful Florida day last week, and so they did art class outside in the field, and one of our students sketched the Jacksonville skyline, and it was incredible, and it was such a fun moment for them to be out here and get to do art with their teacher. It was a special moment for sure. It was the bridge, and then these 3 buildings. He had it all as the skyline, and then he labeled it Jacksonville, Florida, and it was really cool. He was very proud of it, so I took a picture of it, and it was awesome.
So everybody has different gifts, everybody has different bents. So our teachers are they're tasked to find those and motivate our students. What's wonderful is that I used to be really big into aptitudes as a former recruiter, and so what's amazing is that this, no matter what the children are gifted at, no matter whether they love reading or they're really scientifically minded or mathematically minded or they love drama or whatever, this classical education brings it to life for them. And so you become a well-rounded individual, so you can be successful in whatever you want to do, whether you want to be a police officer that's a poet or a physician who also loves math. You can do all those things when you're taught this way. And so that's why I just really love it and believe in it.
This is so exciting.
I'd like you to look at the green. How many green triangles do I have? Raise your hand. Nope, raise your hand. Maida. 6, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. And raise your hand if you can tell me how many red triangles, Thomas.
3.
Very good, Thomas.
Creativity at work. With an exclamation, he was Pinocchio with a brat.
And these are our first graders, so if you notice that they are using punctuation, they're learning all the capital letters and lowercase letters, and this starts in kindergarten. And we also read the real literature, like the original literature, so not the Disney versions. But Pinocchio's pretty epic. I mean, Pinocchio gets his leg cut off at one point, and these stories are not for the faint of heart. But it really brings up some great conversations with the kids, and they are deep thinkers already at this age.
All you gotta do is pull it out of them.
Yep, it's really neat.
That's so
And we talk about the virtues and vices of Pinocchio and how he was being virtuous and then what he was doing to not be virtuous. And so it was
Hence why he was a brat.
Hence why he was a brat, exactly. And the kids, right, exactly. And one of the things that the kids talk about is disobedience for their parents. So if he had been obedient to his father, he wouldn't have gotten into all this trouble. So that's a lesson that we talk about a lot, and it's really helpful because the kids are seeing that in their own lives. Oh, well, maybe if I'm obeying my parents, things will go a little better for me. If I'm obeying my teacher and those in authority, things would go better for me in the long run.
That is so awesome. I love this kid already.
I know.
Telling it like it is.
Oh, Lily.
Oh, little Lily. Lily's gonna be a leader.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
Oh my gosh. Look at this handwriting. This is just so good. Wait, and these are
First graders.
first graders?
Yes.
My handwriting isn't even this good.
We are unabashedly patriotic. We love our country, we love civics, we're very civics minded, and so this is one of the things that we love to do is teach even our little ones about our founding fathers. So Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, John Adams, we want them to know the history of our country, but we also want them to know the why. Why did they start the country? And my first grader, she came home the other day talking about taxation and how King George was taxing all Americans and how she thought that was really unfair and she wouldn't want to be taxed. And I thought, this is coming from a 6-year-old talking about taxation. What's she gonna be like when she's a senior in high school? I'm a little terrified, but also impressed at the same time. Right. And that's really what I love about this is that this connects older generations to their children. So not just my generation, but even my parents, so their grandparents. I had, my daughter came home and she was reciting a poem. This is my 3rd grader. And so my dad was helping her memorize her poem because poetry is really important to us. We memorize poetry all the time. And so he remembered that same poem from when he was growing up. And so they were able to recite it at the same time. We have video of it. But it was just bridging that gap. It was so sweet, so special. And he had forgotten about the poem really until she had kind of brought it up. So it was a really neat time.
Yeah. How did your daughter, what was her response to that? Like, when she was like got to sit there with Grandpa and recite poems and stuff, did she love it?
She loved it. She sat on his lap. They did the poem probably 4 or 5 times, and it was just so sweet. It was just such a unique thing. I don't think that she would ever get that in kind of a regular school. And that's what one of the differences in classical education is, that it doesn't change. It's been the same. It started 2,000 years ago. This is nothing newfangled, and so this is just what everybody, in my opinion, it's the best education that money can buy.
So it's a proven system, basically. It's a proven strategy.
Yep, it's proven time and time again. It's proven, and I can see it with my children. I mean, my oldest daughter was in a regular public school her kindergarten year, and the difference between what my other daughter got in a classical school is night and day. Technology is virtually eliminated here. We read from physical books, and that's not really done very much in other schools, public or private, but we believe in reading from physical books, and we want them to really connect with the characters and retain that information, which is proven. They retain more information and can learn a lot better when they are reading from a physical book. So that's what we have. So if you walk into a classroom, you don't see tablets, you don't see computers on the desks. We have them actually flipping through books, and handwriting is obviously really important to us. So they're, putting pencil to paper and making their handwriting very beautiful, because beauty is really an integral part of our curriculum as well. We want to do things with excellence and beauty in all of it. So we don't have locks on our lockers. So that's a big difference between a regular school and our school, even private schools. And so you can open them anytime. I don't know if anything's in there. Nothing's in there. But we believe that our students are going to be virtuous, and that's what they're trained to do. And so we don't need to lock anything up, because they're not going to steal it.
So what's the idea? Behind that, is it that if we show that we trust you, then they will be trustworthy? Is that kind of?
Absolutely. That, and when you raise the bar for kids, typically they come and they meet it. And so that's what's so wonderful, is that we're like, okay, well, we trust you, and this is on you, and so we haven't had a problem. And it's a really unique thing to see in a school, because in my high school that I went to, I mean, you had to lock it the second that you closed it, and you never, that was a big thing, is having your lock on there. So this is really unique, and I don't even think about it. I mean, I don't lock stuff up, just personally, and it's really just a special place.
Yeah, I think that helps the kids too with their responsibility, because they know that they have to be responsible, and I think we need to start teaching responsibility at younger ages.
Absolutely.
And so that helps them not to wait to be responsible. They have to be responsible even now at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.